Hi, my name is Christian Canales. I'm 34 years old, and I work for Prince William County Department of Fire and Rescue as a firefighter EMT. In April of 2020, I was hospitalized due to having COVID-19 and severe pneumonia in both my lungs. Along with running calls for patients that had symptoms of coronavirus, I was also exposed to coworkers that eventually tested positive for COVID-19. On April 1st, two members of the medic unit called out sick, reporting signs and symptoms of the virus. Over the next several days, their symptoms worsened, including difficulty breathing and fever. A week later, another coworker presented with symptoms of COVID-19 after reporting to work. That coworker tested positive later that week. Within a week and a half of being exposed to that coworker, I also started feeling sluggish and had body aches. The following day, the body aches worsened, had a fever and a fever of 100.4. For the following week, my symptoms continued to get worse. I ended up getting tested for the coronavirus, but the test results came back negative. Due to worsening symptoms such as diarrhea, loss of appetite, uncontrolled fever, and difficulty breathing, I went to Fairfax Hospital, where they admitted me after finding that I had high fever and low oxygen saturation. X-rays and other tests were performed, and the doctors confirmed the positive COVID-19 and pneumonia in both my lungs just based on the results of the chest X-rays. A coronavirus nasal swab was also done with negative results. I was then released the following day and told to quarantine at home and seek medical attention if my symptoms worsened. My symptoms continued to get worse, and after a couple of days, I decided to go to Stafford Hospital. A COVID-19 nasal swab was performed along with blood work and chest X-rays. My oxygen saturation was in the 80 percentile, fever of 103, and chest X-rays showed severe pneumonia in both lungs. After what the doctors called two false negative test results, the third test result came back positive. After several days of being admitted, I was then transferred to the ICU or intensive care unit due to uncontrolled fever reaching 104.5 and needing high flow oxygen of 40 liters to bring my oxygen saturation levels back up. After a week, I was then transferred to Mary Washington Hospital to their ICU due to the recommendations of the doctors because of the continued difficulty breathing. Plasma was ordered for my blood type to get ready for a transfusion. While waiting on the ordered plasma, my symptoms started to stabilize and improve. After a couple of days, I was moved out of the ICU and into the hospital's COVID unit. After several days of being monitored and being fever-free, I was then released and instructed to quarantine at home for at least 7 days. I was in the hospital for a total of 14 days. 9 of those days were spent in the ICU. My cost for the hospital stay was roughly $98,000, not including follow-up visits for the cardiologist and pulmonologist. Over the next several weeks, I quarantined and rested at home with help of family members, and I continued having difficulty breathing and tightness in my chest, but still with improvement compared to before I went to the hospital. Uh, Leaving the hospital, I had lost about 35 pounds, and I lost strength in my arms and legs. I started to work on walking again and regained my appetite. After several weeks, I returned to work on light duty. During the following weeks, I was seeing a county athletic trainer to work on my strength and breathing in order to return back to work. Approximately 2 months after leaving the hospital, I was able to pass a firefighter physical exam and I returned to full duty. I recently visited a primary care doctor to talk about some short-term memory loss that I've recently experienced. And I didn't have those memory losses before I had COVID-19. The doctor said that because of the low oxygen saturation and the high fevers, that I may have some damage to my brain, and I was referred to a neurologist. One of my coworkers that I was exposed to back in April is still working hard to come back to work full duty. The nurses in ICU and the COVID units from the hospitals were all amazing with treating and caring for me during my stay. Firefighters, paramedics, and hospital staff have been combating this pandemic for over a year now. We need to take care of our first responders as we begin to understand the long-term effects of the coronavirus. Thank you very much.